the comment section. So I briefly clicked on a video. And it reminds me of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I think that was the one where he had to put his eye up to the thing so they could look in his eye. Remember that? He would put his eye up there and he would get his iris scan. They wanted to look into your eye for something like a digital ID, I guess, digital currency, digital something, you all. So that's what's happening. Are you going to line up to get your iris scanned? You know how they did the facial recognition, and then as you go into the stores, and then even if you had something covering your face, they could still like get your eyes in the stores so they can see what they look like. Yeah, that's it's really like that movie. It's kind of wild. It is really wild, is what it is. If you are a person who wants to line up for an iris scan, for a digital identification for something, well, I guess it's more concise than your thumbprint or your fingerprint, one could say. Yeah. Hello, Mickey Martin and Stacy. Well, this is wild. It's like everything is happening so fast, but yet it's been happening. And the more you see about it, the more perhaps you're reminded of, it's like a train going down the tracks and it's going so fast and you can't stop it. You can't stop it, you all. You can't, you know you can't. It's coming way, way, way too fast. There are people who like to have their eyes covered and all of that. It is kind of scary stuff, but you don't want it to put you in a scary, fearful mode to where you fear the whole entire world and you don't want to live your life. I'm not going to live my life in fear, you all. I'm not going to hide myself away. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's okay to be aware. It's okay to talk about the technology that's out there because we've got some pretty advanced technology that is being implemented and that has been implemented, you all. It has. Like you got the buildings, you can put your hand up to this thing and you can go in like that. The cars, everything. Put your eye up there, lean to the thing to get your eye before you go into the door of your business. Good morning. You won't be lining up. You all who don't watch will be anonymous. That's right. Well, it's slowly but yet quickly changing. And it's been going on for years and years and years. It has. It's like more people's minds, more people's eyes are being opened. Hopefully, they'll be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together when they think about the movies. Now, granted, some of the movies that the older generation, that would be me, that would be you, that you have seen when you were growing up, some of those movies are not known by the younger generation. They know nothing about it. They don't. And they may think that this technology is all good. And it's really good. We got good technology. I'm not going to say that we don't got good technology. I'm not going to say it at all. Because it is good. But then some of the technology, once it falls into the hands of those who use it in a way that kind of imprisons you, so to say, even though you're free to do what you want, but you're totally being watched. One could say, well, we're always being watched. God's always watching it. It doesn't matter. Everything we do is always we're being watched. Everything we say, He knows our minds. He knows our thoughts. So what's the difference with AI or the technology knowing it? See, one could look at it from that point of view. There's a big difference. somewhat a big difference. I'm sure with the technology that we have nowadays that listens in on your conversations and keeps a record of you and forms your digital identity right now is more important than your physical body. Your digital identity is a lot more important. And it's who you are online. It is than who you are in real life is what it is. And it's kind of sad because, you know, you can be the perfect person. You could. It's not. It's wild. It's so, so wild. We're all being watched. This you better watch what you say. If you're going to be saying stuff, if you got stuff coming out of your mouth that it would be a threat, you better watch it because they're marking you down. They're marking you. And you got a history behind you anyhow. They'll just add it to the tally. You just have all these little things up there that's getting added to the tally of what you said, what you did, where'd you go, what you looked at, what you didn't look like, who you connected with and who you didn't connect with. It's like those mailbox things, the stickers on the mailboxes. And I heard about them a long, long time ago, and I thought, is that true, the stickers on the mailboxes? Think about it, you all. Did you ever see one of those stickers on your mailbox based on who you are? And is there any validity to that, too? Is there? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. There is an urgency. There is. Good morning, everyone. If you're just tuning in, I'm on my porch now. I've been outside, but now I'm coming back inside, and I just looked at the comments. And some of the video footages that are uploaded on the internet and stuff, some of it's, the quality is not that good, and you know, we could, you could get people showing people doing things. You know, this thing right here hasn't left right there at all. You can have them showing people doing something, and in all actuality, it may not even be happening at all. Your neighbor keeps track of all the dead people. Rick, are you serious? All the dead people. Wow. And I don't want people dying all around either. I don't. And there seems to be an uptick in deaths. You got the Social Security Death Index that you can go search anybody out on the Social Security Death Index, the SSDI. Interesting. You're assigned a number on this earth. You really are. And I wonder if that number that you're assigned when you're born and the blood samples are taken, I wonder if that number that you're assigned at birth is the exact same number that you have with this new digital identity. Somehow, you know, maybe the numbers are programmed to have a certain thing to it. Yeah, but I don't want my iris scan. We are a business, that's right. The humans, they're great commodities. They are, they're cash crops and commodities, and they got a lot of liquidity with human beings. Someone once said, you know, we're sold on the stock market. It's like your house when you get a house, you buy a house, you finance it, the money gets to roll in on the stock market. Oh my goodness, you all. Here's this. Much study wearies your body. So if you've been studying a lot and you've been drowning in the studies, reading so much stuff, and it's like, oh, I am so tired. Okay, much study wearies the body. And there's another part that goes to that. The more the knowledge, the more the grief that you'll have within your being. When you start seeing everything that's happening and it's not right, then it's going to cause you a little bit of sadness within your being. It is. And you can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what you No, you can't. It's like embedded within you, unless you get like something where they're going to wipe your mind. You got to get your iris scanned. Line up and get your irises scanned if you want to have your digital ID. Gina, are you encouraging people to do that? No, I'm not. But people are going to do what they want. It's new, fancy technology. It's like the Borg. You get at least one mechanical part of your body, and I think they all get an eye, a digital eye that they can use, you know, to scan and stuff like that. You ever been in your dream state where you're looking at something, you can't see it, and all of a sudden you feel your eyes zooming up on it in your dream state so you can see it better? So that's a really weird sensation in your dream state if you've captured yourself doing that, trying to see something, and then your eye goes zoop, zoop, brings it right up close to you all. Toronto parents and friends of them, oh, the cancer, the baby, myocardial, wow. You have experienced some things, that's right. Oh my gosh, the dream state. The dream state. It's a whole new place. It is. It's like, where's that place where dreams come true? Dreamland. We're living in the real world. I really would encourage you, and I do, enjoy your life to the fullest, the life that you've got. Don't let it slip by. Don't. You'll have plenty of time to face what's coming, because you won't be able to escape it. You won't. You'll have plenty of time to face what is coming. Plenty of time. But right now, now's the time for you to get your house in order. Now's the time for you to enjoy your life while you can, because you're not really promised the time that you think, oh, well, I'll make time, I'll do whatever. No, don't put it off. Don't. Too many people have too many regrets. It's speeding up. You got to get established now. You got to get grounded now. You got to build that person up on the inside. You need all the happiness you can get, all the love that you can get. Make some good memories, you all. Do it. Get out there and live your life before you can't do the things you want to do, because you are hindered from doing such things because you don't got your retina scanned, or you didn't take that mark, or you didn't want to do what you had to do in order to travel freely. You better do it now. Gina, do you mean it? Oh, I do mean it. Do it now, you all. Do it now. Because it's going, no, we know what the future holds. If you're not of a certain class, if you don't fit that criteria, you're going to be blacklisted, and you're going to be the outcast is what you're going to be. You're not going to have that very many privileges at all. You won't have the leisure of traveling, and if you do, it's going to be to some not so desirable places that you really don't care to go to. You may not get the most prestigious places you want to go. You talk about discrimination, you're going to see it on a scale that you have never seen before. You are. You're going to find out exactly what the discrimination is, and it ain't even going to be placed on your, it's not going to be whether you're male or female. It's not going to matter the color of your skin. It's not going to, none of it's going to matter. You're going to see a discrimination on a scale that you've never seen before. And it's going to affect people from all walks of life, young, old, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Live your life. Live it. Things are accelerating. They are. There is an urgency in the air. And that urgency is being helped right along. I don't know if you all can feel it. I'm sure some of you can feel the urgency. Gina, you've been saying there's been urgency for doing this and that. Well, the time to prepare would have been the time when the prices were down lower on the food. It's like some items have literally doubled in price and sometimes tripled in price. You're running out of time. You're going to have to pay a lot more if you want to get some shelf-stable food or some other things that you need to prepare yourself to, so you can face what's coming and is already here. but it has not yet went into completion yet, full completion, full implementation, but it's going to. Gina, we can stop it. It's much bigger than you realize. I mean, it's nice to, we can stop it. No. I mean, you're not going to go there. I'm not. Do what you can to raise awareness. Raising awareness is one way to help people. We want to help people prepare. We really do help people to get stronger on the inside. We got to be an encouragement to each other, you all. We do. Because when this stuff starts really coming really, really, really fast, you're not going to have time to think. You're not going to have the liberty of, okay, well, I'm going to run out. It's like when the snowstorm comes, everybody goes to the store. And you don't get what you want to get because the shelves are empty. Everybody had the same idea. They waited to the last minute. Yeah. Then you're going to have to hope and pray that somebody's going to help you out in your time of need. If you can even get to the somebodies who can help you out in your time of need. And if they have what you need in your time of need, those grapes are getting very big down there, you all. This is about as big as the grocery stores. This cluster of grapes. I made one fall off. I need to get the grapes off of there before they fall. They're so ripe. Look at them. I need to pick them. Mmm. Mmm. Those are really good grapes. Long live the cash. I got an idea about the cash. Well, if they want to get the cash off the streets, well, if you've noticed, if you went into the stores lately, a lot of the grocery stores and things like that, the big chains and smaller chains that are connected to the big chains, at the checkout, card only, no cash accepted. Really. And the fast food restaurants, you got them standing outside with their little things. You give them the credit card, boom, you want to pay cash, you got to go all the way to the window. They're going to make it hard for you to spend your cash. I mean, there will be some people who can still deal in cash, but they're going to try to make it as hard as they can. And I thought about this too. So if something happened and, electricity went down, they know that lots of people got lots of cash. Well, they're going to get some of that cash out of the people's hand the longer they leave the stuff down. They're going to get it out of the people's hand because the people will only be able to accept the cash. I'm sure that's in the plan. I really am sure of it because you'll get a big swath of it because of people who don't carry. There's lots of people who don't even carry any cash around. It's all credit cards. But they're going to be the ones in trouble when say the grid goes down or something like that. But the people who got cash ain't, but then they're going to get the cash out of their hand because they're going to have to use the cash to buy the goods and services. They'll find a way to get a lot of it out, you all. So it's best to get what you need now. It is. Just live your life. Live it. I guarantee, DJ Lewis, honey, you have went months without food. Rose Copperfly. I can't really see your name that well. I don't get my really good. Hello, Miss Penny, honey. Yeah, you are. So you don't want to have your iris scanned for the digital, whatever it is. I mean, you may want to have your iris scanned, and you'll be like in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And maybe, if you remember that movie, I think somebody took an eye out of their head and held it up to the iris scan in one of these movies. I think I remember it. And also in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, because he was being tracked. Remember? He took that thing, he opened up the suitcase, and his future him was telling him, if you've done this, you open up the suitcase. He was telling himself, if you found yourself in this situation, he had to shove this thing up his nose, and he had to pull that thing out in the top of his head that was up there through his nostril. And it looked really painful. But they were tracking him with that. And they also, if you remember in that movie, they had a way to, I don't know if he swallowed something, but he turned into this old woman, the older woman who was overweight, and it took over his whole entire body. His body got transformed, but when it started wearing off. He was getting right through the checkout, through the lines, and he started going like that, like that. The woman had red hair, and he barely made it through. Yeah, well, he did get detected when his thing that he put over his body, his shape shifting body started to shift out of its shape and show him. Your cooker will boil the waters. We got 2 weeks of food. DJ Lewis, honey, is something happening in 2 weeks? Something could be happening. If something happens every day that we don't know about. The clouds are just like coming out of nowhere. The day of just looking at the clouds, you all, it's like, okay, we know there's something up there. We know something's coming. And they know, and they too know something is coming. That's why they're preparing the earth for its coming, more or less. Okay. It's okay. Do y'all got a lot of energy in you? Has anybody got a lot of excessive energy in them right now? You like wound up? Has anybody got some excessive energy in them? Because if you do, just make use of that excessive energy. Silver and gold. Yes, Danny. You know, if I had goods and services, if I had a lot of goods, and then someone came to me and all they had was silver, but I needed something. I need some other type of goods, but all they had was the silver, and I didn't know anybody that I could trade that silver with. I'm sorry, you're not going to get it from me. No. Don't come to me with no silver. Don't come to me with no gold. Don't come to me with no money, because if society collapses and we enter a bartering stage, I'm going to want to trade some of my goods for some of your goods. You're going to have to give me something that I need. I'm not going to want that silver. I'm not. I'm just going to tell you, I can't do nothing with it. To me, it's just poof. Because you would literally have to have somebody who you knew who could, like, I don't know, have some goods and services. Could you even get to that person who would collect all the silver for the stuff that you need? Could you even find them? And then what would they do with it? What would they do with it, you all? Yeah. No. If I wanted to plant a garden and all I had was some silver, and then maybe somebody wanted some silver and they give me some garden tools, that'd be great. But if I had some canned goods, some canned food, some rice and stuff like that, and I knew somebody had some extra garden tools, and I would try to trade some of my food stuff or something else that I have with them for their garden tool, because it would be reciprocated. It'd be something that we both need. As for that, you all know, wealth is worthless in the day of wrath. And you may experience wrath, not just from God Almighty, but you may experience wrath from people on the earth, some not so good people, some people who might have been good, but then they turned bad. Yeah, no, your money not going to do you no good. Get what you can get now. While you can get it. You don't got to go overboard, you all. You don't. Just, but you better get right on the inside of you. Please get right. Keep your sanity about you, even though the world's been turned upside down. You don't want your brain to get turned upside down and keep spinning around in your head to where you can't even think straight. You got to balance yourself is what you got to do. We can do it, you all. We can. How are we doing in the comments section? Do we need a moderator in here? I don't know if we got one, and I'm not really looking at the comments right now, but I'm sure someone can tell. God gave you the hand to cure. See, that's perfect. If you got the gift of healing, because that's going to be needed big time. Actually, it's needed right now in this world. It really is. People got some gifts, and that's really going to be needed. You know, some kind of, it's like a life skill, but no, that's a special gift. People do have the gift of laying on hands. You might need to have some gifts of casting out some demons in some people. You may have to have that gift. But you know what? You can't cast out something that person does not want to leave their body. You're gonna be wasting your time. They gotta want it to leave, and they gotta mean it. And then when you go cast it out, then You better direct it to go far, far away, and never to come back. Um, Food will become the currency, and they'll find a way to find out. See, hoarding in certain times, they can come in and take all your stuff. You know that they got to track, they got a tab on the people who've been hoarding the food, who's been hoarding the ammunition, who's been hoarding the guns. They got a people who's been hoarding. They tracking you everywhere you go. If you got a barcode on it, they can come through. They probably got the technology, which they do. They can come through and x-ray your house. They can probably read these barcodes, even with the new QR codes. Even if if you destroy practically every single bit of that QR code, there's still enough data left to pick it up. There is. Are we, we are, it's Outcast here in Washington. Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. We're doing good on here, you all. Dragonfly, honey, we doing all right? Okay. All right, we're doing all right. If a troll comes in, you get them. If they're going to be rude and disrespectful and speaking down to people, yeah. I mean, they can get in a timeout, but you know, if they're really bad, boom, there it is. That's right, you all. You don't want your iris scanned, but that's the era that we're going into. They need your iris, like the Schwarzenegger movie. What other movie did they use the iris in, the iris scan? Hello there, Danny Lovett, honey. They are following you now? They've been following you for years. Somebody wrote in the comments section that they had one of those drones follow them around everywhere they went. And they followed their neighbors too, because they had interaction with their neighbors. And kind of creepy. You got a drone behind the sky letting you know that we're watching you. You can't get any clearer than that. When you look up in the sky and you got a drone right behind you watching, that would be awful if those drones could be retrofitted, which they can, with the little bitty guns or lasers, and poof, there you go. They send out a frequency, and then that's it. No wound, no nothing. You're gone. You're gone like that, you all. Oh my goodness gracious. So no, you don't want to. You already got your digital identity. You do. And what's the Hunger Games? You had to stay in certain sections and stuff based on whatever. You couldn't go to the city unless you were part of the super whoever they were, the super race of beings, more or less, the privileged race, and you had to you had to work your land with a garden hoe. That looked like the time of when society collapsed. Society will probably collapse here too. It's going to collapse. There's been too many movies about it. Civilizations rise and civilizations fall. So in order for the new civilization to rise, the one that's rising, the old civilization has got to be brought completely down to the very foundation, so that the new foundation that they're laying they can build and grow and grow and grow. So this civilization, this world that we're living in, this life, it's got to be collapsed also in order to fully implement the new system. Crashing down, you all. Everything you do with the digital stuff, that's going to be tracked. There'll be no more embezzlements and all this kind of stuff, but I'm sure there's ways to get around doing all that kind of stuff, doing things that you ought not to do. They'll have a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, you all. It'll stop a great deal of the stuff that's going to be happening. I mean, it won't stop the majority of it, but it will a great deal. And you're going to have to live in that world unless you exit this world, unless the rapture comes, or unless you're taken out by a spaceship, or you're just taken out. That's right, but don't sweat it. Don't sweat it and don't stress it. Just get ready. Get ready, because it's right here at the door. The door is already open. It's practically fully opened. And there's both feet in there. It's already inside the room. It is. It's not moving around freely right now, but it will. It will be able to move all over the place. All over the place. And unhindered. Totally unhindered. You know what? You wouldn't want somebody to force you to do this and that, because if you didn't do it, Well, you know what it said would happen to you. You're going to be put to death. You're going to go into captivity. Or you're going to die by the sword. You're going to leave the world fighting. It's like on the Scorpion King. Live well and die free. Is that what he said? Live well, the Akkadian. Something like that. I don't know what it went. But you've got your destiny. Everybody's got their destiny. They do. You can change your destiny, I guess. Perhaps you could. Maybe your destiny may not be the destiny you think you have. Maybe you have a totally different destiny. You could be walking down this road called life. It's just like on your merry way. You're going in you got the future planned out. It's straight ahead. You're going to be doing this for a certain amount of time until it's your time to go. You've already got all your plans planned out. You got your backup plans for your backup plans, and then something happens, you all. Something happens, and something gets literally, something's like, boom, like if that was a bakery thing, then you don't go no farther. Somebody threw something in the road and you can't go any farther. But I could walk over this wash rag. You know, you're doing it right now. You're walking, you're doing your own thing in your life right now. And this is quite possibly going to happen to a lot of people. You're just walking, and boom, just in an instant, that future you thought you had, it's gone. It's gone, gone, gone. That person you thought you had in your life, gone, gone, gone. They're exiting your path. They're no longer with you in this life because they're gone. And now you got to navigate the life that you got, and the plans that you might have had. Now they're rearranged, but you got to keep going because you don't know what's up ahead. But you got to keep going because you know there's no going back. There's nobody back there. Nobody back there. It's up here. You can't go back. There's no going back, you all. It's only right here, right ahead. You can't look back. There comes a point in your life where you can't look back. You know the only way forward is right there. You can't go back unless you're a time traveler. But if you go back and you change time, you're going to mess up a whole lot of things and rearrange it, and it ain't going to go too well. Just think all it takes is a little few, not even a second, milliseconds, and you can literally alter time, events, people's lives. And it's not pleasant. You're going to get your iris scanned for your digital identity. They already got your digital identity anyhow. They already got your face mapped out. Your eyes, your nose, and all of it. Did you just see something flash in front of here, or was it just me? Did I see like a yellow flash come in front of here, you all? I may not have seen it. I thought I might have seen something. Yeah. Hello, if you're just tuning in. Deja vu. You have books, that's perfect. You got physical books, it's nice to have. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. I did go out yesterday when I had to take a long time to get home with my daughter because the roads couldn't go down the road I wanted to go down. I took one detour, I couldn't go down that detour. I had to take another detour, couldn't go down that detour. I finally said, I'll just loop all the way around and I'll drive even longer. I couldn't go the path I wanted to. But I thought, you know what? I'm getting home. I'm going to get home. Me and my daughter's going to get home. If I had to take 2 or 3 different roads till I find the road that's going to take me home, and I did it. And I made it home. From long, long ago. No, I didn't have no hot flash. If I have a hot flash, I'd like for the hot flash to be yellow. It'd be nice to see a yellow hot flash. But I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a yellow smiley face. Yeah. You are a survivor. There's a lot of people who are a survivor, and you may think, well, I'm not a survivor. I don't think I ever could be. You could be a survivor. If you're living right now, you are a survivor because the world's got turned upside down. You are a survivor, you are. You're just walking back and forth because the world is changing. And people may not fully understand the magnitude of it. You may think, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great for some people. It really is. It's going to be perfect. They're going to love it. The future is ever so bright. I'm not going to say that my future is not going to be bright. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to try to make the best of my life And you don't have to say that your future is not going to be bright. You can make the best of your life. You can make it, you can work to making it bright. And when something comes along your path and, you know, you have to take a detour, keep going. No, you don't want to go into a downward spiral. Plans get rearranged. Plans get rearranged. Lives get rearranged. And you keep on going. You just keep on going. Time and chance happen to us all. It does. Timing. You be at the right place at the right time, and then boom, your world has changed for the better big time. You thought it was going really bad, and then something happens in an instant. Boom. If it was that easy to snap your fingers like I Dream a Genie, is that who did it? Or Samantha on The Bewitched? You all, there's people lining up to get their iris scanned for the digital ID. I want to try to get some of these grapes without them falling down because they taste really good. They're not bitter or anything. A nice vine. It goes way down there, and they taste. They're so refreshing. I have 4 already. Grapes right off the vine. You no longer drive. To survive good, you got to travel light. Your backpack is almost ready. Now let's talk about backpacks. You got a backpack. They make all kinds of backpacks. They make backpacks that are thin but yet very durable, very lightweight. They don't have to be too big. They got backpacks that have like external frames on them. And they got the kind that wrap around your waist. They got backpacks that are really heavy. I love the, if I ever go to the thrift stores or the Goodwill, when I see a, oh, Gina, now you've already forgot about the name of the backpack that you like. The backpacks, briefcases, Swiss Army gear. They got the big metal zippers and stuff, very durable fabric. That's right, the Swiss gear backpacks. They make thinner ones. They make some that are heavily padded. I haven't yet seen one that had like an external frame. But you don't want something that's going to be half your body weight or more than your body weight. You ain't going to make it. Travel light, that's right. And it, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, this is the tribe. This are the tribe. That's right. Have you noticed people when they talking about stuff, they'll say this is our car. They won't use the word our, O-U-R. They'll say A-R-E. This is our car. It's like the vocabulary is even changing. It's the different definitions are given to certain words, adjectives, verbs, nouns, you name it. We don't want an iris scan. I don't really remember ever going in a hospital and having it scanned. But that's one step forward to a bionicle eye. Zooming up, hear that bird talking? These wind chimes have not been chiming all day. Whoa! Something stung my balls. I guess a bee stung me on the, I think I've seen a black bee or something around. It was like that big. It looked like a big black ant with wings, but it's probably some kind of black wasp-like thing. Oh, thank you, Ronnie, honey. You're not going to go along with all this plans of control. Nobody wants to be controlled. I don't want to be controlled. You all don't want to be controlled. We want to do what we want to do, and that's the problem. That's the problem with the human race. They don't want to be controlled, and that's why they got to have a compliant, complicit race of beings on the earth. You got to be able to be controlled. You do. That's what is that is what is thought about, and that's why Great change is coming and is already here, but yet is not fully implemented in its entirety. It's going to take a few years, and then a few years longer, and then boom, whatever's left of the human race on the earth. Oh, so it's the year 2023 now. Probably by the year before 2030 gets here, there won't even be half the population left on earth. Probably won't be. Half the population will be gone, or probably more than that too, and that's why they'll have to augment it with your other type of life form to replace all those that disappeared, that never made it through the next 7 years. You'll have to replace them. You answer to God, not AI. Doggle. What's a doggle, Michael? A deagle forecast? I don't know what a deagle forecast is, you all. The younger generation and the older generation, those who are all techie and stuff. Not all of them, some of them. It's not good to classify all. Some are wanting their iris scan so they can be participants in the whatever, and you'll be able to go places. I'm sure they can put iris scanners everywhere. Just stick your face up to it. Let them scan your eye, excuse me. Let them get your eye. Can they see within your eye what's, if there's something else in your body? Hey, what goes through the eye? Okay, something went through the eye with the black-eyed club, right? Did they put that life form in the eye? They looked at the little black thing and it goes, swiggles, the life form gets into their eye. And is that why they want to scan the iris to see if there's evidence of that inside their eye too? Yeah, the iris scan. Will you have that on you? Well, I'm sure they'll be able to identify people who do, really. You may have some neurons and stuff rearranged in your brain, a lot of activity. You may have cells that didn't used to be in your body, or doing something to them on the inside of your bloodstream. It's like those people who, is an old movie, they got into this submersible and they went inside the bloodstream of the human body. And I have no idea what they were looking for. All I remember is the capillaries, the big old blood cells, the big round ones going through the bloodstream, whatever that movie was. It's kind of, I've never watched it. I've seen a bit of it. And I thought, this is a really strange movie. Why do you got people going into a submersible, being shrunk down so small to go inside the body looking for something in the bloodstream, whatever it was. Hello there, Eugenia. Rosie, honey, I think she's in the house because it's a little humid out here. Inner space, thank you. So, yeah, I am going to be going, but that's right. You all enjoy your life now. Enjoy the freedoms that you have now. Enjoy your ability to go to and fro like you want before the day comes and you don't have that privilege, and your places that you could go are limited because you're not one of the certain whatever who can travel to places like that, because you will be limited. You'll see a discrimination that you've never seen before on a scale, and it won't matter. It won't matter. You talk about discrimination now, you're going to see it in the future. You'll find out what it means. Yeah. And it's not nice to say, but it's true. It's true, you all. You can't fight it. I mean, you can fight it in your own way, but it's full speed ahead. It's much bigger than you and me. It would take a out of this world power, and it will take a power that is not of this earth to defeat it. A massive one. An off-world power coming back and put an end to it. So I'm going to go. I am. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. That's right. Wonderful rest of your afternoon. And hello, Nina. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Danny, love it. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you, Dragonfly17. Have a wonderful